You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. But mass perception is the world's most powerful spell, and most people are under it without knowing that they're chanting along. Today we're going to expose how shared attention turns into shared reality, how narratives recruit your nervous system, and how to step out of the trance without becoming cynical or isolated. You'll learn how to keep your mind sovereign inside the noise, how to contribute stability to the people around you, and how to broadcast a signal strong enough to shift rooms, timelines, and outcomes. This isn't theory for its own sake. This is practical metaphysics for everyday life. Let's begin. Reality has its layers. There's the raw event. Then there's the interpretation your senses and memory apply. Then there's the collective layer, the story we agree to tell about what it means. That collective layer behaves like a field. It has a tone, a tempo, and a direction. When enough people focus on the same frame with the same emotion, the field coheres. Think of metronomes on a shared platform slowly synchronizing. Think of a stadium wave that no single person controls, but everyone participates in. Mass perception is that wave. This field rewards whatever gets repeated. Attention is the currency. Emotion is the amplifier. And repetition is the printing press. The more a claim is echoed, the more true it feels. Not because it matches reality, but because it matches our social need to belong. Once you see that, you stop confusing volume with validity. Most collective stories follow a simple loop: trigger, frame, repetition, ritual, reward. A trigger is any event that spikes attention. The frame is the first sentence that tells you what this means. Repetition cements the frame by flooding your feed and your circle. Ritual is how we enact the story, sharing it, posting it, arguing about it, building little ceremonies around it. Reward is the social payoff, belonging, certainty, outrage, or moral superiority. That reward completes the loop and recruits more people. Cultural moments act like tuning forks. Elections, holidays, championships, scandals, tragedies. Each one hands the crowd a beat and a storyline. Headlines compress complexity into a single take. Dashboards reduce the living world to numbers that feel objective. But compression isn't clarity. It's a trade. You get simplicity and lose nuance. Repeat that trade enough times and the map erases the territory. We end up reacting to a model of reality and mistaking the echo for the source. Not all emotions spread equally. Fear, anger, and disgust move like wildfire because they're survival coded. They hijack attention with a promise: engage or you might be unsafe. Awe, gratitude, and compassion move slower. But they don't just alert the system, they organize it. When the field tilts toward fear, people shrink their time horizon. They make short-term, defensive choices that feel rational inside the alarm and foolish in hindsight. When the field tilts toward awe or care, people widen their view and act from long-term intelligence. The practical move is not to suppress feeling, but to regulate the channel it travels on. A simple on-the-spot reset. Take 2 slow breaths through the nose. double the length of the exhale, and then name what you're feeling and how you know. I feel anxious. My chest is tight. My thoughts are racing. Naming restores agency. The field will still move, but you won't be dragged. If your attention is the instrument, keep it in tune. Here's a daily protocol that takes discipline, not deprivation. First, practice source diversity. For topics that matter, expose yourself to 5 distinct sources across different vantage points. Then wait 30 minutes before forming an opinion. This breaks the first frame spell. Second, privilege long form over clips. Clips trigger. Long form teaches. Give at least 20 minutes a day to deep reading or listening that challenges you but doesn't inflame you. Depth inoculates you against bait. Third, add white space. 10 minutes of intentional silence. Let the brain complete its processing cycle. You will notice your opinions become quieter and your insights become louder. Fourth, language scrubbing. Replace absolute language with precise language. Everyone thinks becomes some people in my feed think. Precision turns down emotional gain without dulling perception. Finally, audit your body state before you speak or post. If you wouldn't sign your name under that sentence tomorrow, don't let the field borrow your mouth today. You don't escape the collective by leaving it. You transform it by broadcasting coherence into it. Start with your 3-foot radius, the bubble you carry into every room. Enter slowly. Breathe down into the belly. Unlock the jaw and soften the eyes. Set a simple intention. I stabilize. People feel that before they hear you. Coherence is contagious. When you speak, braid 3 strands together: evidence, experience, and empathy. Evidence grounds you in reality. Experience declares your honesty, and empathy keeps the channel open. Here's what I've learned from the credible sources. Here's what I've seen up close. Here's what I imagine it feels like for you. That braid outperforms shouting every time. Practice skillful dissent. You can disagree without escalating the field. Try, I see why that frame is appealing. Here's what it includes, and here's what it might be leaving out. Can we test both? Dissent offered calmly is a tuning fork. If you hold it steady, others start to align. Build micro rituals that bend the local field. Before a meeting, 1 minute of shared quiet. Before a hard conversation, agree on terms and definitions. At home, tech-free meals. In public, small acts of visible kindness. These are not performative. They are instructive. They show the nervous system around you a different possibility and invite them to entrain. Finally, create a personal North Star statement you can return to when the feed tries to draft you. 1 sentence, present tense. I choose clarity over chaos, truth over trend, and presence over provocation. Speak it aloud. The field will hear you. Mass perception is a living weather system. You can get soaked by it, or you can learn to read the clouds and carry your own climate. The world changes when enough of us stop reacting to the loudest drum and start keeping a steadier beat. Be the tuning fork. Hold the tone. Let your coherence become a place where other people remember themselves. If this helped you to see the water that you're swimming in, like the video to boost the signal. Subscribe if you're building a sovereign mind inside a noisy world. Comment with one narrative you're testing this week and one micro ritual you'll use to stabilize your 3-foot radius. And if you want to support this work directly, you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/magnumopus333. Your support keeps the channel independent, add light, and relentlessly focused on truth over trend. Thank you for watching. Until next time.